Welcome, my student. You came here not for empty words but for strength. So listen closely. Failure is not your enemy. Failure is your teacher, and perhaps the most honest one you will ever meet. I will tell you something now, and you must not forget it. If you walk away after only 15 seconds, let it be this: every fall, every defeat, every mistake hides the seed of power, but only if you choose to face it without running away. Later in this journey, I will show you exactly how to turn your worst failure into a weapon sharper than fear. But for now, know this: failure will not break you, it will make you. You think you are alone in this. You are not. Marcus Aurelius failed many times. Epictetus was beaten, enslaved, and mocked. Seneca was exiled, betrayed, and ordered to die. And yet, from their failures, came wisdom strong enough to cross centuries. What then will stop you, if you are willing to learn as they did? Do not believe the lie that failure is the end. It is not a wall, it is a mirror. When you fail, life is showing you what is fragile within you. It is not punishment, it is instruction. And if you dare to look closely, you will see where you are weak, and in seeing you can become strong. So let us begin step by step. Together we will walk through the storm of failure, until you no longer fear it. Until failure itself becomes your ally. Step 1. Stop pretending you did not fall. The Stoic does not lie to himself. When you fail, admit it. Say it clearly. Yes, I failed. Yes, I fell short. Yes, I did not do what I set out to do. Do not dress it up. Do not soften the word. Failure accepted is pain cut in half. Failure denied is pain doubled. Think of a soldier on the battlefield. If he is wounded and he hides the wound, infection spreads, and soon he falls. But if he says, "I am cut, I am bleeding," then he can bind it and heal. So it is with failure. If you deny it, it will rot in you. If you face it, you can grow stronger. Step 2. Separate what was in your power from what was not. This is the heart of Stoicism. If you failed in something, ask yourself with honesty: was it because of what I did, or was it because of what I could not control? If the storm sank your ship, do not curse the storm. If your laziness sank your ship, then take responsibility. The first failure is fate. The second failure is choice. And you can only correct what belongs to choice. This is why most people are crushed by failure. They mix together what is theirs and what is not, and so they fight shadows, but not you. You will learn to divide clearly. You will look at failure and say, "This part is mine, this part is the world's," and only then will you begin to stand up again. Step 3. Rewrite the story. Failure tempts you to believe one story: that you are weak, useless, broken. But the Stoic refuses to accept stories without proof. You failed at one thing. Does that mean you are a failure in everything? No. You were defeated in one battle. Does that mean the war is over? No. Change the story and you change the weight on your shoulders. Say instead, "I was tested." Say, "I was shown where I need to grow." Say, "I have not lost, I have been sharpened," and then prove it with your actions. Step 4. Act immediately, even in small ways. Failure loves to freeze the heart. It whispers, "You are stuck. You cannot move. You are worthless." Do not listen. Do something, no matter how small. Write one line, lift one weight, speak one truth, show the universe that you are still moving. A single step taken after failure is a declaration: "I am not done." Step 5. Use the discipline of review. Marcus Aurelius wrote every night, not to boast, but to examine himself. Ask yourself plainly, what went wrong? Where was I weak? But do not ask with cruelty. Ask as a doctor examines a wound, with calm, with care, with precision. Blame does nothing. Correction does everything. Now, let me pause. You may think these steps are simple, but do not mistake simplicity for weakness. The hardest doors to open are often the smallest. If you practice these steps, even one of them, you will begin to see failure differently. You will feel its sting, yes, but also its guidance. You will learn to rise faster than others. Yet there is more. In time, you will see that failure itself is a form of training, that it can harden you in ways success never could. Later I will show you how to transform failure into the very fuel of greatness, how to turn rejection into strength, how to take losses and make them into lessons no enemy can steal. But for now, I ask you only this: stop running. Look at your failure as if it were a teacher sitting across from you, and ask, "What are you here to teach me?" Do this and you will already be walking the Stoic path. Not as one who fears life, but as one who meets it with open eyes. Listen closely. My student, you have already learned the first steps: accepting failure, separating what is yours from what is not, rewriting the story, acting immediately, and reviewing with honesty. These are the roots. But now we must grow the branches, so that your strength spreads into every part of life. If part 1 was about facing the sting of failure, part 2 is about walking with it, shaping it, and using it. Here, I will take you deeper. I will show you how to carry failure without being crushed, how to transform it into discipline, courage, and wisdom. Let us begin. Step 6. Do not measure yourself by success or failure. Measure yourself by effort. The world measures men by trophies, gold, applause, but the Stoic measures by what was within his control. If you gave your full effort, if you acted with reason and virtue, then you have succeeded already, even if the world calls it failure. Do not forget this. The runner who stumbles while giving his all is nobler than the runner who wins by cheating. The merchant who loses money while acting honestly is greater than the thief who gains riches. Your worth is not written by outcomes, but by choices. So when you fail, ask not, did I win? Ask, did I do what was right? Step 7. Practice the art of detachment. Failure hurts because you cling too tightly. You say, this project is me, this relationship is me, this dream is me. And when it falls, you believe you have fallen too. But remember, you are not your job, not your grades, not your wealth, not even your reputation. You are the reasoning soul behind all of it. Detach, and you will suffer less. Detach, and you will be free to try again without chains around your heart. If you fail, say, the event has failed, but I remain. This is why Epictetus, though enslaved, said he was free. His body was bound, but his will was untouched. Detach, and you too will stand unbroken. Step 8. Use failure as rehearsal for greater challenges. What is training but controlled failure? The wrestler is thrown to the ground 100 times in practice, so that in the arena he does not fall easily. The soldier blunts his sword in drills, so that in war it will not break in his hand. So too with life. Your failures are not random, they are practice. If you fail in love, you learn patience and honesty for the next love. If you fail in work, you learn discipline and humility for the next task. Nothing is wasted unless you throw away the lesson. Ask yourself, if this failure is training, what is it preparing me for? Step 9. Practice voluntary hardship. The Stoics taught themselves to endure by choosing discomfort, even before life forced it on them. Why? So that when failure struck, they would not collapse. Eat simple food for a week. Sleep on the floor for a night. Walk in the cold without complaint. Speak the truth even when it costs you. When you train yourself in hardship, failure becomes familiar. It loses its power to terrify you. Seneca said, "We are more often frightened than hurt." Voluntary hardship teaches you that you can live with less, lose more, and still remain whole. Step 10. See failure as the doorway to virtue. Consider this. Courage cannot exist without fear. Patience cannot exist without delay. Resilience cannot exist without hardship. And wisdom cannot exist without failure. Each time you fall, you are offered a chance to practice virtue. You do not become brave by reading about bravery, but by facing what frightens you. You do not become patient by speaking of patience, but by enduring what annoys you. So when failure comes, do not curse it. Say instead, here is my chance to practice the virtues I claim to admire. This is my arena. This is my test. Step 11. Learn to laugh at failure. Do not take yourself so seriously that one fall feels like the end of the world. Remember, you are a tiny part of a vast universe. In 100 years, even your greatest failure will be forgotten, so why cling to it with such heaviness? When you stumble, smile. When you make a mistake, laugh softly and say, "Ah, I am human." This laughter is not denial, it is wisdom. It reminds you that failure is not a mountain but a pebble on the path. Step 12. Build your inner citadel. Marcus Aurelius spoke of this fortress inside each of us, a place no failure, no insult, no disaster can touch. How do you build it? Through daily practice of reflection, meditation, and principle. Each morning, remind yourself of what is in your control. Each night, review your actions with honesty. In time, you will feel the walls rise around you. Then, when failure comes, it will strike only at the outer gates. While within, you remain calm, strong, untouchable. Pause for a moment and let this settle. Do you see what we are doing here? In part 1, we made peace with failure. Now, we are transforming failure into strength. We are shaping it, using it, bending it into something that serves you. No longer are you the hunted. You are becoming the hunter, taking even your defeats and turning them into victories of character. But let me tell you the deeper truth, one most people never see. Failure is not merely training, failure is freedom. Yes, freedom for the one who has failed and risen again is untouchable. What can life take from you if you have already tasted loss and endured? What can the world threaten you with if you have already known rejection and still kept going? The man who has never failed lives in fear. The man who has failed and risen again is fearless, and fearlessness is the true prize of Stoicism. So when failure comes next hand, it will do not shrink. Do not beg for a life without falls. Instead, welcome the fall as a chance to become free. Say to yourself, if I lose, I will learn. If I am rejected, I will grow. If I am beaten, I will rise stronger. And if I am broken, I will rebuild. What power then remains to the world to stop me? None. This is the Stoic way. This is how failure becomes not a chain, but a key. Now, you may wonder, how do I begin to live this daily? How do I take these words and make them habits? That, my student, is where part 3 will lead us. For there, I will guide you in turning these principles into action you can take every day, and there I will invite you to walk further with me, to share your journey, and to strengthen others as you are being strengthened. But remember this as we close part 2, failure will visit you again. When it does, do not run, stand still, look it in the eyes, and greet it not as an enemy, but as an old friend who has returned to teach you once more. Come closer, my student. You have walked with me through the first 2 stages. You have learned to face failure without denial, to divide what is in your power from what is not, to rewrite the story, to act again, and to review with honesty. You have also learned to detach, to rehearse through failure, to train with hardship, to practice virtue, to laugh at yourself, and to build the inner citadel. Now comes the final stage, the stage of practice. For wisdom that is not lived remains only words, and words, however beautiful, will not save you when failure strikes at midnight, when rejection burns, when disappointment weighs heavy in your chest. Only practice will save you. So now I will show you how to live Stoicism daily, how to weave it into your mornings, your evenings, and the long hours between, so that when failure comes again, and it surely will, you will not only endure, but transform. Step 13. Begin each day with preparation. Marcus Aurelius began his mornings by reminding himself, today I will meet people who are selfish, ungrateful, arrogant, dishonest, jealous, and rude. Why did he do this? So that when the day brought its inevitable struggles, he would not be surprised. Do the same with failure. Each morning tell yourself, today I may stumble. Today I may be rejected. Today my plans may collapse. And then, but none of this can touch my will unless I allow it. In this way you armor yourself before you even step into the world. Step 14. End each day with reflection. Before sleep, pause. Ask yourself, where did I succeed? Where did I fail? Where did I act with virtue? Where did I fall short? Do not be cruel. Do not flatter yourself. Be honest if you failed. Admit it, and note what you will do differently tomorrow. In this way, failure becomes not a burden carried into the next day, but a teacher left behind after class. Step 15. Practice the discipline of presence. Most suffering and failure comes not from the failure itself, but from dragging it into every moment after. You failed once, yet you fail 1,000 times more in your mind as you replay it again and again. Stop this. Stay present. Say to yourself, that was then, this is now. What is in front of me at this moment? What action can I take now? Presence robs failure of its echo. Step 16. Surround yourself with reminders of wisdom. Place a Stoic phrase where you will see it daily: amor fati, love your fate. Or, it is not things that disturb us but our judgments about them. Or, you may fetter my leg, but not even Zeus himself can overpower my will. When failure strikes, your environment will whisper back to you the truths you have chosen to live by. Do not rely only on memory. Build reminders into your life. Step 17. Learn to serve others through your failure. Failure feels heavy when it is only about you, but when you turn your pain into wisdom that uplifts others, the weight becomes lighter. If you fail in business, share your lessons to help others avoid your mistakes. If you fail in love, show others how to heal and move forward. The Stoic life is not only for the self, it is for the common good. Turn your failure into a lamp that lights another's path, and suddenly the darkness will not seem so dark. Step 18. Practice gratitude even in failure. This is perhaps the hardest practice, but also the most powerful. When you fall, do not only curse, ask, what in this failure can I be grateful for? Maybe it showed you who your true friends are. Maybe it revealed strengths you did not know you had. Maybe it freed you from a path that was never truly yours. Gratitude turns failure from poison into medicine. It softens the wound and quickens the healing. Step 19. See failure as part of the rhythm of life. The tide rises, the tide falls, the sun sets, the sun returns. You will succeed, you will fail. This is not abnormal, it is the natural order. Why then treat failure as if it were an intruder? It is as natural as breathing. Do not resist the rhythm, flow with it, and you will find peace even in the midst of defeat. Step 20. Remember death. Memento mori. Remember that you will die. Why does this matter for failure? Because most of what you call failure is trivial in the face of death. Did you lose money? You cannot take it with you. Did someone reject you? They too will soon be dust. Did you stumble in front of others? Their opinions will vanish as quickly as their lives. When you remember death, you shrink failure to its true size, small, temporary, unworthy of despair. Now pause and breathe. You have been given the steps, you have been shown the way. But you may still ask, will this truly work? Yes, if you live it. If you treat Stoicism not as words on a page or a video to be consumed, but as a daily practice, a constant companion, then, when failure next appears, you will no longer tremble. You will stand tall, look it in the eyes, and say, I expected you. Come, let us walk together. And now, my student, hear this final truth. You will fail again. This cannot be avoided. But if you live by these teachings, each failure will leave you stronger, calmer, freer. And one day, you will look back and realize, the failures I once feared were the very stones that built my strength. If these words have guided you, I invite you to walk further with me. Share in the comments the failure you are learning from, for your words may be the strength another person needs. Subscribe so that this wisdom can continue to reach you, like a teacher who returns each day to remind you of who you can be, and share this video with someone who carries the weight of failure on their shoulders, so they too may learn to transform it into freedom. For wisdom grows stronger when it is shared, and we, like Marcus, Seneca, and Epictetus before us, are part of a chain that stretches across time. Add your link to the chain, live these words, and failure will no longer be your enemy but your ally. Rise, my student. Your journey continues. Go and meet life with courage.